There was a murderer on Dr. Phil, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this case. I'm gonna warn you guys right now, if you get disturbed easily, I'd stop watching because this case gets very disturbing. First, I'm going to tell you about the case itself, and then we're going to get into the astrology of it. And you already know that 18 and 22 degrees have something to do with it. This beautiful boy is Dylan Redwine. He was born on February 6, 1999, and he would be described by his friends as very outgoing, funny, loved to talk back and forth via text. He was an Aquarius with a Libra moon. Dylan's father was the last person to see Dylan alive, and the mother automatically thought that he had something to do with it. So much so that she made him go on the Dr. Phil show. There's so many sick, demented, twisted turns that this story takes, so in this video, I'm going to talk about what he said happened that day. But first, a quick reminder, he is a sick, twisted fuck. And you will see why later. Dylan's parents are divorced, and it was court ordered that on November 17th, Dylan had to fly to go see his father for Thanksgiving. His flight actually got canceled though, and so he flew on November 18th. Dylan's father said that Dylan arrived in Durango, Colorado at around 5:56 p.m., and this is the security footage found from the airport. They then drive to Walmart and then eventually out to eat at McDonald's. And his father makes a big emphasis on, oh, I wanted to take him to a restaurant to sit down and eat, but he wanted to go to McDonald's. We'll get to that. Then he says they were eating the McDonald's in the car for the ride home, and they arrived home and watched a little TV before they both went to bed. By the way, I just want to add in here, this dude lives on a 22-mile stretch of nothing at the end of a dead-end street. So they are in the middle of nowhere. Then he says he wakes up at like 7 o'clock in the morning because he has to go to his job to get some payroll thing. So he tries to wake Dylan up to ask him if he wants to go with him for the ride. And he said that Dylan didn't want to go, he wanted to sleep in. And then his dad leaves the house at 7:30. And that would be the last time he ever sees his child. His dad then comes home at like 11:30 and notices that Dylan isn't there. What do you think he does when he finds that out? Part 2 on the case that has literally been giving me nightmares. So when Mark got home and realized that his son wasn't there, he said he didn't think much of it, so he just went upstairs and took a nap for 3 hours. And remember, he lives in the middle of nowhere, so his 13-year-old son that isn't from the area is gone and he doesn't think anything of it. And after this little bitch's little nappy nap, he decides that, oh wow, it's weird that my son is not home. Let me call the mother and ask if she knows where our son is, even though she's like fucking 6 hours away. The mother immediately starts freaking out. She hops in the car to make the long trip over to Durango, Colorado, and she's like, what do you mean you don't know where our son is? Have you called the police? Have you called this? Have you called that? He says that he called the police. But when his mother calls the police, she said that they have no record of him reporting his son missing. But Mark will eventually go to the police to report his son's disappearance. And when the police ask him if they want them to put out an Amber Alert, he tells them, oh, no need for an Amber Alert. The police, FBI, Dylan's family, and volunteers from all around the state spent 7 months trying to find Dylan's body, or, hopefully Dylan alive. And the father only helped with the search one time. And the only time that Dylan's father went to go look for him was because Dylan's older brother, Corey, pressured him to search with him that one day. After a few hours of looking for Dylan with his father, Dylan's older brother would then tell police that he knew his father killed his little brother, and he knew exactly why he did it. And what the reason was is so disturbing. I don't even know. I hope I don't get blocked. I need to post a big fat disclaimer on this video. If you are under the age of 18, please get off of this video. I'm going to be showing some very disturbing images, so much so that TikTok might actually remove it, so I'll be sure to save a draft and maybe post it to my Instagram. So Dylan has been missing for months. The mother has always said that the father did it, and now Dylan's older brother is now saying that he thinks the father did it and he knows why. A few months before his disappearance, Dylan and his older brother took a trip with their father. I forgot where, but they took a trip and they were staying in a hotel together. And when the father went to sleep, Dylan and his older brother went onto his computer, and what they found literally scarred them for life. Dylan's older brother said that Dylan was never the same after seeing what he saw on his father's computer, and he lost all respect for him that day. And I'm going to show you what they saw on the computer. But let me just say, it's some weird fetish shit. And I'll tell you what it is before you actually see it. It is his father cross-dressing as a woman, wearing a diaper, and eating feces out of the diaper. Here's the first one. Now this is an image of their father wearing a diaper, and it's obviously soiled. And here is their father now taking the diaper off and eating said shit. And now here's their father in women's clothing with that shit diaper now off in his mouth. Let me just say, this image in particular scarred me, disturbed me. Imagine what Dylan and his older brother thought. They had looked up to their father. They looked to their father as this strong male figure, would go to baseball games, this and that. And I mean, whatever, if you want to be a cross-dresser, that's your prerogative. There's nothing wrong with that. But seeing this disturbing shit as a young child, you are never the same. And then it comes out that Dylan never wanted to go to his father's for Thanksgiving, but he was forced to because of a court order. And we'll get into the events that led up to him having to go to his dad's house.